Have you ever felt that sort of dizzying sensation of information overload? Every headline screams about a rapidly changing world, and you're left wondering, what's next for my career? What skills do I really need? It feels like the future of work isn't just coming, it's already here, shifting so fast. It can be incredibly tough to, well, cut through the noise. Well, that's exactly what we're tackling today. Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're going to dive headfirst into the evolving global job market and the critical skills shaping our professional lives looking out towards 2030.
And our main guide for this journey is the World Economic Forum's big Future of Jobs Report 2025. This isn't just any survey. It's a huge data set. We're talking insights from over 1,000 global employers that represents more than 14 million workers across 22 industries and 55 economies. So it gives us a really broad, grounded view. And we've also woven in some extra context from other sources you shared just to get the fullest picture possible.
Right. Our mission is clear. Unpack these findings, pull out the most important nuggets, maybe highlight some surprising facts, and really help you understand what this all means for your own career journey. We want to slice through that noise so you can feel genuinely well-informed, maybe a bit more confident about what's ahead. Okay, let's unpack this.
Right. So to start, the WEF report points to 5 major macro trends. Think of them as the big forces reshaping the labor market by 2030. First up, and it's no surprise, is technological change. This is huge. The report flags advancements in AI and information processing as transformative for, get this, 86% of businesses.
86%? Wow.
Yeah, and robotics and automation. That's affecting 58%. But here's where it gets really interesting. Broadening digital access is actually expected to be the single most transformative trend overall.
Really? More than AI itself?
That's what the data suggests, affecting 60% of businesses. It seems it's not just about the cutting-edge tech. It's about more people, more businesses simply getting online, which then amplifies everything else.
That makes sense, the foundation. So 86% for AI and info processing, that almost universal transformation, isn't it?
It really is. It frames AI as this fundamental shift, not just a niche thing.
And digital access being number one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sets the stage. Okay, what's the next big force?
Second is economic uncertainty. We're seeing about half of employers expecting the rising cost of living to transform their business models.
Half, okay.
And 42% cite a general economic slowdown.
Yeah.
So this isn't just noise, it's impacting planning, investment.
Right, real-world decisions.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Then number 3, the green transition. Climate change mitigation efforts, transforming 47% of businesses.
47%.
And adaptation efforts, 41%. This is a massive economic driver, not just environmental. It's creating whole new roles, needing new skills.
Across pretty much every industry, I'd imagine.
Absolutely. Then number 4 is about people. Demographic shifts. We've got aging and declining working age populations in higher income economies. 40% of employers see this as transformative.
40%, that's significant.
Definitely. But at the same time, you have expanding working age populations in lower income economies, impacting 25% of employers. A real contrast there.
A split picture globally.
Precisely. And finally, number 5, geoeconomic fragmentation. This is basically the global economy fracturing. Think geopolitical tensions, conflicts. 34% of organizations expect this to transform their models. Restrictions on trade and investment affect 23%, and things like government subsidies, industrial policies, that's 21%.
So, more than just trade wars, it's like a redrawing of the economic map.
You got it. And these aren't happening in isolation, of course.
No, they must all be interconnected.
Deeply. They create these ripple effects. These drivers are simultaneously creating the fastest growing jobs and the fastest declining ones. They're demanding new skills, reshaping business models, like the geoeconomic fragmentation, pushing some employers to offshore, but also pushing others to reshore.
That's sure, bringing things back home.
Yeah, to build more resilient supply chains closer to home. It's a very dynamic picture.
Okay, monumental forces indeed. So let's translate this. What does it mean for actual job numbers? The big picture net gain, net loss. What's the forecast for 2030?
Well, the big picture is nuanced, but ultimately positive for total job numbers globally. The report predicts what they call a structural labor market churn of about 22% of today's jobs by 2030.
22% churn, that sounds like a lot of movement.
It is. It means around 170 million new jobs are expected to be created,
Okay.
but also about 92 million jobs displaced.
So creation and destruction happening together.
Exactly, but if you do the math, that results in a net growth of 78 million jobs globally.
A net gain of 78 million. Okay, that's reassuring overall.
It is. But that 22% churn still means huge shifts for millions of people. It's a real transformation, but more jobs expected overall.
Right. So let's dig into those new jobs. You mentioned fastest growing. What roles are seeing the most explosive growth in percentage terms? The proportional superstars.
Yeah, these are heavily dominated by tech and green roles, like you'd expect. We're talking big data specialists, fintech engineers, AI and machine learning specialists, of course, software and application developers, security management specialists. Cybersecurity is huge, and then reflecting that green transition. Autonomous and electric vehicle specialists, environmental engineers, renewable energy engineers, high growth there.
You can really see the fingerprints of those big trends, tech, green transition, all over that list.
Truly.
Now, here's where you said it gets surprising. We often get fixated on those high-tech, high-percentage growth jobs. But when we look at sheer volume, the absolute numbers of new jobs expected, what are the unexpected roles popping up?
This is, I think, one of the most important takeaways, and it shows the report's depth.
Yeah.
Topping the list for absolute growth.
Farm workers.
Farm workers.
Really? Yes. Expected to see 35 million more jobs by 2030.
35 million. That's... wow. That feels counterintuitive to many people expecting only tech booms.
Yeah.
What's driving that?
Yeah.
Basic needs, new methods. It's a fascinating mix. Global population growth is part of it, sure. But we're also seeing big investments in sustainable agriculture, precision farming, using IoT, that sort of thing. Plus, those economic pressures pushing for more localized supply chains.
Ah, so it's not just traditional farming, it's evolving.
Right. Evolving with tech and environmental needs, but often needing more human input in different ways. Beyond farm workers, roles like delivery drivers, construction workers, salespersons, food processing workers, also massive absolute growth.
Okay.
And crucially, the care economy is booming. Nursing professionals, social work and counseling professionals, personal care aides. Big expansion there.
Driven by those demographic shifts, I guess.
Yeah.
Aging populations.
Exactly. And also education roles. Tertiary and secondary education teachers are rising too, fueled by growing younger populations elsewhere and broader digital access for learning.
So the big takeaway, not all growth is high-tech. Fundamental human needs are driving huge job numbers.
That's the crucial point. The intersection of tech and fundamental human needs.
Powerful. Okay, so if those are the growth areas, what about the flip side? Which jobs are shrinking fastest? Where's the biggest decline?
The fastest shrinking roles are mainly in clerical and secretarial work.
Light.
Think cashiers and ticket clerks, administrative assistants, executive secretaries, those kinds of roles. Also, postal service clerks, bank tellers, data entry clerks.
So routine administrative data entry tasks being automated.
Largely, yes. The days of the filing cabinet and endless routine data entry seem to be fading fast. But what's really notable, perhaps a bit startling for some, is roles like graphic designers and legal secretaries.
Oh, those felt stable.
They did, but they're now among the declining roles. It shows how AI and information processing are getting better at handling knowledge work, not just routine tasks.
So AI is moving up the value chain, impacting creative and specialized support roles too.
Precisely. It's not just blue-collar automation anymore.
Okay, we've charted some massive shifts in jobs. Rise of AI specialists, unexpected growth in farm work, decline in admin. This inevitably leads to the skills question. I can almost hear listeners thinking, okay, what about my skills? So let's talk about that skill instability. What does that actually mean for the workforce? How much of our current toolkit might become outdated?
Excellent question. Skill instability basically measures how quickly our skills need to evolve. And employers expect a pretty significant transformation. Around 39% of workers' existing skills will either be changed or become outdated by 2030.
39%, that's still a huge chunk.
It is, but interestingly, it's actually a slowing rate compared to the 2023 report, which was 44%.
Oh, why the slowdown?
Well, the report suggests it's partly because of increased training efforts. Continuous learning initiatives seem to be actually paying off on a global scale.
That's really encouraging. Adaptability isn't just a buzzword, it's having a measurable effect.
Exactly. The investment seems to be making a difference.
So, given that skills are paramount, what are the core skills employers prioritize right now? What do they absolutely need today?
The top 5 are a really interesting blend. It's cognitive skills, self-efficacy, interpersonal skills. Analytical thinking is still number 1. Essential for 7 out of 10 companies.
Okay, analytical thinking, still key.
Then comes resilience, flexibility, and agility. Hugely important. followed by leadership and social influence, then creative thinking and motivation and self-awareness.
That's quite a mix. It's not just technical know-how, is it? It's about how you adapt, influence, create, how you show up.
Absolutely. It suggests a shift towards a workforce that's not just skilled, but also agile and innovative, resilient, collaborative.
Right. So building on that, what skills are growing most rapidly in importance for the next 5 years? What should people focus on developing now?
The fastest growing ones, maybe predictably given the trends, lean heavily towards technology. AI and big data is right at the top, then networks and cybersecurity and technological literacy generally.
Okay, tech.
Well, yes, but not only tech. We also see creative thinking growing strongly. And resilience, flexibility, agility again, plus curiosity and lifelong learning. Those are climbing fast.
If lifelong learning itself is a skill now.
It really is. And there's a notable new entrant in the top 10 fastest growing: environmental stewardship.
Reflecting that green transition push. Makes sense.
Definitely. It's becoming a core business concern.
Okay, so what's on the other end? Which skills are projected to decline in importance?
The ones showing a projected decline include manual dexterity, endurance, and precision.
Physical skills, mostly.
Yes. And interestingly, reading, writing, and mathematics are also on this list.
Wait, reading, writing, math, the fundamentals, how can they be declining?
It's not that they become irrelevant, not at all. It's about their relative importance in the overall skill mix diminishing. As other skills rise, and automation handles more routine calculations or text generation, the premium shifts.
So it's not that you don't need to read or write, but maybe how you apply those skills changes. Like you need analytical thinking on top of reading.
Exactly. It's less about the basic execution, which AI might assist with, and more about the higher order cognitive skills needed to use that information. Interpreting complex data, framing narratives, solving problems where those basic skills are just the starting point. It shifts from execution to strategy and analysis.
Okay, that clarifies it. It's about leveraging the fundamentals in new ways. Which brings us right back to AI. The big question, does generative AI mean humans are out? Replacement.
Yeah, the million-dollar question. The report is pretty clear on this. Gen AI's main potential is seen as augmenting human work, not outright replacement in most cases.
Augmenting, okay.
It highlights skills needing empathy, active listening, sensory processing, manual dexterity. These show very low or no substitution potential with current Gen AI.
The uniquely human touch, care work, nuanced problem solving on site.
Precisely. Gen AI excels where theoretical knowledge and digital manipulation are key: data mining, coding assistance, summarizing text, calculations.
So like a powerful co-pilot for certain tasks?
That's a great way to put it. For anyone navigating this, the focus should be on those uniquely human skills and learning how to work effectively with AI as a tool.
Collaboration, not just competition. Makes sense. So linking skills back to jobs, how did these shifting skills differentiate between the growing roles and the declining ones? Is there a clear gap people should notice?
Yes, absolutely. The report identifies some clear gaps. Resilience, flexibility, and agility, these show the most significant difference. They're rated much higher in both importance and required proficiency for growing roles.
So adaptability is key for growth jobs.
Hugely. Also, programming and technological literacy are key differentiators. Higher need in growing roles. But here's a fascinating twist. Service orientation and customer service is the only skill found to have an equal or even lesser requirement in importance or proficiency for growing jobs compared to declining ones.
Really? Customer service less important for growth roles. That seems odd.
It might suggest that automation is handling more routine customer interactions, or that the type of customer service needed in growth areas, maybe more complex, consultative, relies on other skills like analytical thinking or social influence more heavily. It's a targeted shift.
Interesting. Okay, so given all these huge shifts in jobs and skills, what are companies actually doing about it? What are their main workforce strategies? And crucially, how can you, the listener, align your own development with what employers are focusing on?
Right. The top strategies are quite revealing. Upskilling is number one. 85% of employers plan to adopt this. They want to develop their existing talent.
85%, that's massive.
It is. Then comes accelerating process automation at 73%, followed by hiring staff with new skills, 70%, and complementing or augmenting workforces with new technologies, 63%.
So it's a mix. Train current people, hire new skills, and bring in tech to help.
Exactly. A dual focus on internal development and external hiring, plus technology integration. It's proactive.
Okay, that's how they're strategizing the work itself. But what about getting and keeping people? What are businesses prioritizing now to attract and retain talent? What's the big draw?
Well, what's fascinating is the shift here. The new top priority is supporting employee health and well-being. 64% of employers identify this.
Well-being is number one. That feels like a significant change.
It really has. Reflects a broader societal shift, I think. They're also focusing, of course, on providing effective reskilling and upskilling. That's key for retention, too. Improving talent progression, offering higher wages, about half plan to do that, and tapping into diverse talent pools. Almost half are emphasizing that now.
Diversity as a talent strategy.
Yes. And here's another really notable shift. 19% of employers globally are removing degree requirements in favor of skills-based hiring.
Wow, nearly 1 in 5 dropping degree requirements. Focusing purely on skills, that is huge.
It signals a real move towards demonstrable capability over traditional credentials.
But talking about priorities, are employers and employees actually on the same page? Do they value the same things for retention?
That's a critical point, and there are some interesting misalignments highlighted. Employees tend to value things like good working hours and pension policies more than employers think they do.
Okay.
Conversely, employers seem to prioritize well-being and upskilling more than employees rank them as primary reasons to stay.
So there's a perception gap.
There is. And for anyone listening, knowing these differences can be really valuable when you're negotiating or looking for the right company fit. It gives you insight into potential mismatches or points of leverage.
Good tip. Let's circle back to AI again. Specifically in these workforce strategies, we know it's augmenting.
Yeah.
But how are companies responding in terms of hiring and training around AI?
Right. The strategies are quite specific. 77% plan to reskill their current workforce to better work alongside AI.
Okay, training people to use the tools.
Exactly. Then 69% plan to hire new people, specifically with skills to design AI tools.
Building the AI.
And 62% plan to hire people skilled in working with AI, maybe analysts, prompt engineers, that sort of thing.
So build, use, collaborate.
Yes. But it's not all about collaboration. A significant chunk, 41%, also anticipate reducing their workforce where AI can automate specific tasks.
So integration, collaboration, but also some strategic displacement.
It's a multifaceted approach, not just one thing.
Understood. And you mentioned wages earlier. Just quickly, the trend there.
Yeah, the report indicates 52% of employers expect to allocate a greater share of revenue to wages.
Driven by.
It seems to be a mix of productivity gains from some of this tech and automation, but also just intense competition to attract and retain the talent they need, especially for higher skill roles. There's a clear wage premium for higher job zone levels.
Okay, so better pay for those in demand.
Generally, yes.
All right. Let's try to wrap this up. We've covered a huge amount of ground.
We have. So, to recap this deep dive, the future of work, it's characterized by significant change, yes, but the report suggests it's ultimately manageable change. It's a mixed picture job creation and displacement, heavily influenced by those big forces, tech, green transition, economy, demographics, geopolitics. The key really is understanding these forces, not fearing them, and seeing the opportunities they create.
Exactly. And for you listening, the takeaway seems clear. The most successful professionals moving forward will be those who truly embrace lifelong learning. Cultivating that balance of skills, sharp thinking, resilience and adaptability, but also those human-centered skills like empathy, influence, collaboration. It feels less about finding the one perfect job for life.
Much less.
And more about being ready for many jobs, continuous evolution. This deep dive hopefully has helped cut through some of that noise we started with, bringing clarity to what it means for your journey.
Absolutely. And maybe a final thought to leave people with. Given that skill instability is actually slowing a bit and employers are investing more in upskilling, is future-proofing your career less about frantically trying to predict the next single hot skill, and maybe more about consistently investing in your core adaptability, your learning agility, and those uniquely human capabilities that technology complements rather than replaces? What's your next step in this ongoing journey of continuous evolution?